Welcome back, guys. I'm really excited for this topic today. You ever just feel that you just wanna just like, I don't know, just you feel like you just wanna explode, like you're just not with like an anger, but like, what is going on? Like, why am I doing what I'm doing? Like, why am I feeling the way I feel? Like, you're just sitting there in a situation, whether it be work, school, any situation in life, and you just look, someone just yapping about just garbage that like, and you're sitting there listening like, what does this have to do with me? Why am I listening to this? Why? This is just nonsense. I think we all come across that every day, honestly. Like, I find myself just in a situation where someone's telling me something, I'm like, what is going on? And I think I have a solution to that problem.
The summer's calling.
By the way, these mountains over here, this generation from this custom world is insane. I didn't include it in the last video, but the world download, this is custom terrain. This isn't generated, but I will definitely do that because people were asking me about it. We're kind of going back here to the topic at hand. I think that we need to bring humor back into our lives. We need to find situations when things were funny and you weren't afraid to. I think we've even gotten to a point where, I get it, you can't say things to offend people in public, especially at your job or work or stuff like that, but my God, like, I think we're even afraid in our minds to say stuff like that could be considered offensive or that. Like, you have to find that comedic relief, and I think I've been doing that more in my mind, like, if I'm at work or in life or, yeah, I even did it like in school and that kind of stuff, but finding that humor in, if someone's saying something, just laughing, like, what is this freaking idiot saying? Like, honest to God, like, there's a lot of idiots. There's a lot of idiots in this world. And I think we've just been so, with the way the society now is, with all the, I hate using this term, but like, woke culture and cancel culture, we're all just like so narrow-minded. We all think alike. And I heard this great quote today from a video. We all used to suffer in silence when stuff like that would happen. And it may not have been a suffering, but in your mind, be like, you kind of had an independent thought, be like, this is just dumb. Then you make your own conclusion. But now it's like, we have these groups, people kind of have like a hive mind mentality where like, everyone's going to have the same thought. And if you don't think like that, well, screw you, you're out. But it's definitely interesting to think about. Kind of to bring it back into a practical sense, I think that, you're going to have to be in the world. You're going to have to be a part of things that you necessarily don't want to do. You're going to have to be around people you don't want to be. But kind of bringing it back full circle to the point I'm trying to make is, understanding that you're an individual. You are allowed to have your own thoughts. You don't have to agree with everyone. And sometimes, and it's not in a sense of being fake or conforming, like sometimes you're just going to have to be, a wolf in sheep's clothing, as they say. Kind of bringing it back to a quote there, but sometimes you're gonna have to do that. But realize that you're allowed to have your own thoughts. You're allowed to think things are stupid. You're allowed to think people are idiots. You're allowed to, find that comedic sense, because I think that it's a good element to deal with what you're dealing with. But drink a coffee here. I think that, going back to, like, I'm trying to think of an example. I'm trying to think, like, when I was a kid, like, sometimes, like, I would just find, like, Here's a good, okay, this is a good example. Like, I played football in high school, and I love football. Like, one of my favorite, literally my favorite sport, but sometimes it would just freaking damn suck having to go to practice and run and do all that stuff. And sometimes, you'd be messing around at practice and, the team would have to run and then be like, damn, this sucks, like doing all this stuff. But sometimes, like, when we'd be running, I'd just be like, just find that on the comedic relief and it'd be like, damn, like, I'm out here running around like an idiot, just laughing at it. And I think that, laughing in the face of adversity, like, especially if it's someone that's like, scolding you or yelling at you, and you just find it like, what the heck? Like, and sometimes you gotta take it seriously. Like, sometimes you can't, do that to people because you might put yourself in a worse position. But kinda, sometimes I can just break someone's will, honestly. Just be like, just laughing and be like, okay, buddy, like, whatever. But yeah, sometimes, kind of going back to my example, sometimes we'd just be running and I'd be like, this is kind of funny. Like, just do it. And by the time you just realize, be done anyways. But yeah, that's my example of it. But anyways, yeah, hopefully this makes sense. I know this is kind of all over the place, but finding that crazy side to you, finding that kind of being a maniac in a sense, sort of, not really, but it's definitely an interesting thought to have, and I hope that anyone struggling with this, feeling like they can't be themselves, and I mean, for God's sakes, I make Minecraft videos where I talk about life things and like stuff like this. Like, that's just weird. Not weird. I don't want to say weird because everything's, I don't like that, but it's different. And guess what? At the point I'm trying to make it, yeah, it is kind of weird, but guess what? Who cares? I'm doing it. I don't care. It's, I'm hopefully bringing value into a space that was different, but I don't know. Just a thought. But, and I think being that person that has that lighthearted mentality that can joke around, but again, you still got to be, you can't put yourself in a way where you're just being offensive just for the sake of being offensive and hurting people's feelings. That, like, but being that lighthearted person to where you can find in a serious situation, kind of open up, be like, being that person that's like people can look to. And this is more of like a leadership aspect of being that person that can be in a situation that sucks or you have to take charge of that, but also at the same time not letting things get out of control and having that lighthearted nature where you can, crack a joke or find some sort of light in a situation. And that's a good point, because that does kind of relate to what I'm saying, is everything doesn't have to be straight and narrow. You can have you can find humor, you can find the light in a situation, is what I'm trying to say. And it's sad these days, because that's kind of why I'm saying, finding your crazy side, being a maniac, because back in the day, like, I was just being a normal person. I was just being a good old person, having good, being likable. But now, if you crack a joke, or feel like anywhere, or, say something, not necessarily politically correct, people think you're crazy, or this or that, or whatever. And it's like, it's just being a normal person. I consider that being a normal person, just finding who you are, sticking with your guns. And that, again, you gotta find a balance. You do. Like I said, being that wolf in sheep's clothing is key. And that, again, that's not being fake or being just genuine. It's just some situations you're gonna have to do that, and that's just part of life. Something you have to accept. So I think with that being said, I'm going to end the video there. Hopefully you guys found value in this and kind of get what I'm saying, the point I was trying to make. I know it's kind of all over the place, but yeah, don't be afraid. Practice it in your mind. Like, if you're in a situation, being like, what what is this? Like, what? Like, and just laugh in your mind. Be like, I'm glad I'm not that person. I'm glad I can find, not funny, but kind of find, being like, this is why, like, yeah, that's pretty much it. We got a Discord. Join the Discord. Good Discord, good group of people. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Appreciate all the new subscribers lately, all the views on the videos. Really does mean a lot to me. But yeah, I'm gonna end it there. God bless you guys as always, and have a good rest of your weekend.